Dave, man, we're almost there!
Hurry up, dude, hurry up! Come on!
Yeah, speed it up! I think we're gonna make it!
Faster, dude!
Woo!
Dave, brother, we got to get to the podcast, man. Do you got the keys? Where are the keys?
I got him, man. I got him.
Oh, brother, clutch. Let's get out of here, my man.
Let's go.
Man, I think we made it. I didn't know if you were going to make it on that jet ski, brother.
Whoa. Wait a minute, Devin. Where's your hat? Hang on a second.
Oh, man, that's way better. I think I'm ready now.
Let's go.
All right, dude, let's make it happen. Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc.
David Wynn.
And we're here to talk about how to have great success in any market. Hey, and today, guys and gals, that market is Central Florida, and we've got returning guest, Christina Waggoner from the Waggoner Group at Click and Close Mortgage. Christina, you've brought somebody we've been trying to catch for a long time.
She's
Who'd
fast.
you bring along with us today?
That is true. We have been trying to catch Gina
The
for
Roadrunner.
quite some time. Her nickname precedes her very well. Gina Marie, she's with Rest Easy Realty and the...
She's not resting that easy.
No, she does not. She makes everybody else rest easy.
She does. Yeah,
well,
she does. So Gina Marie, Rest Easy Realty, known as the Roadrunner because you're always on the go and you get there immediately, right?
Yep, they call, I'm there. Call home and I'll be there.
Well, we got a chance to feel some of that action today because we've been following you all over town. And let me tell you something, have we been following you? No, it's been a great experience to get a chance to hang out with you today and just see what you do and the people that you serve. But let's take this back a little farther because we know who you are, right? Mm-hmm. But let's let the audience know who you are. And are you from, so right now, guys, by the way, we're in San Antonio, Florida, not Texas, San Antonio, Florida. So you're from this area originally?
Born and raised in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Okay.
So my parents are from New York and New Jersey. I'm full-blooded Italian, so they are first, their parents came over on the boat. So they went to New York and New Jersey. My dad was a hard worker, only went to 8th grade, but then he built his own business. He owned a wrecker service. He was a mechanic, and he actually was a Marine and worked as a mechanic in the Marines. So when they got married, they came to Florida for their honeymoon.
Okay.
And they went to Hollywood and Miami and loved it so much that they went home and they sold their house, they sold their business, came back and bought a motel actually on Daytona Beach.
That's cool.
So I was born and raised there until I was 7 years old. Then we moved inland after that. But so I learned at a young age how to serve people.
You did.
And I learned how to,
How big a motel?
It was a one-story at that time, a big L. It was called the Wayward Winds.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe 30 units.
30 units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mom did the bookkeeping and cleaned up everything, and she, and then my dad actually was running it. So.
Well, you worked there at some point in time, huh?
Oh, we always helped. Yes.
What was that like? What was that like growing up in a
Great.
motel? You had a lot of people coming and going.
Yeah, and you got to meet people from all areas.
That's right.
And it
well,
was
Daytona Beach, right?
Yeah. I learned
Definitely
how to
meeting
swim
people from
at
everywhere.
The Royal Beach, and I learned how to, and we always went to the beach all the time. So that's why the signs have the palm tree and the hammock and the beach, because that's just part of I love
Let's
it.
take that back a little bit because you said the signs have the palm tree and the beach, and we know what you're talking about, but explain that a little bit. So your Rest Easy Realty.
Right.
Where does that come from?
Well, we do a lot to work behind the scenes to help the customers not have to do anything.
Yeah.
Most of the customers we have are 55 plus, so they're either relocating or they're not here or they need help. So working hard so you can rest easy is kind of like our tagline.
Yeah.
And what we do is everything from start to finish, whatever they need. If that's, getting it ready to sell.
That's right.
If it's, having it pressure washed, if it's staging it. I have an
Yeah.
interior decorating background because I had Holm interiors. And so I come in and stage it and make it look presentable. And then we
That's
have a
amazing.
professional photographer comes in.
Yeah.
And then also we help them, if it's a second home, get rid of all the furniture at the end of the day, because that's huge. I mean,
Yeah.
what do they do? Or if it's a probate situation, or if they've lost someone, we help them with the medical. We just have a lot of people that we partner with that help with
You
all of the different
understand
ages.
this market. You
Yep.
understand the people that you're working with, and you know how to make it really easy for them.
Right.
Whether it's a very difficult situation
Right,
or whether it's a blessed situation.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take that back though. So you mentioned the palm trees,
Yeah.
and so that the rest easy has to do with some palm trees.
Oh, yes.
Why? You mentioned, I think you said something about resilience earlier.
Yeah.
You talk about the palm trees, and I want to hear a little bit about that.
Okay, well, we always had palm trees in the yard growing up, and I always loved palm trees. I love the way they sway and and they just make that calm sound. And I didn't really appreciate them until we moved out of state. When I first got married, we moved out of state for a couple of years, and when you drive back into Florida and you see the palm trees,
Yeah.
it's just like, yes, back in sunny Florida.
home.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the thing I love about palm trees is they stand tall no matter what. Whether they're in a storm and you see them swaying back and forth, they can take the perseverance, and yet they're just like shining. They just stay up there, and I love just the resilience that they have. So I've learned that from my dad that it's what you make it. It's not it's how you react to something. It's not what you're in. So
Yeah.
I really love the palm tree because not only that, but it holds the hammock where people can rest easy.
Rest
and-
easy.
That's
There it is.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Rest
so-
That's awesome
easy
tagline.
realty.
Yeah.
Yeah, working hard so you can rest easy.
Yeah.
I love it.
You are working hard too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk-
We saw it today, right, Dave?
Yeah, we sure did. Let's talk about how, because you told us in the green room how you got started in real estate. It's a great story, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So let's talk about how you got started in real estate. What made you get into real estate?
Okay. Well, my parents were moving from Daytona Beach when they were in their older years to Zephyr Hills because that's where we were because of health issues. And
Yeah.
so what happened was they wanted to move, and no realtors, they called several realtors, and no realtors would show them properties unless they would list their house with them.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'll get my license and I'll help you. Because my dad had been a realtor, and I had kind of been around it because I was staging homes, home interiors for realtors.
Right.
So I'd been around it. I said, let me just get my license and I'll help you. So I got my license and I helped them find a home. And I'm still in that neighborhood today. It's a manufactured home park in Grand Horizons. And I'm in there today because they told their neighbor, and their neighbor told their neighbor, and
Yeah.
their neighbor told their neighbor. And so that's just how I built the business, by helping people. And once they bought their house, then, they sold theirs and moved here. So that's how I,
So you just stumbled
Started it.
into the industry,
Yeah.
helping your parents.
Exactly.
And just, by the law of the nature, one person saw how great you did, and they said, hey,
Yeah.
you got to use Gina Marie. She's the one, right? Yeah.
yep. And then, of course, the neighbor across the street had to sell their house. And so it just kind of goes like that. They tell each other and we help them. Each situation's different. Everybody needs something different. But
That's true. Well, we'll talk about that too, because here we are in San Antonio, Florida, and we're
Yeah.
at the Mirada, and
Yes.
we're here with DRB Homes today.
Correct.
And what is this, the Opry?
Osprey Point. It's
Osprey
the
Point.
Osprey 3.
The Osprey 3, the Osprey 3. And it's a beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful layout.
Yes.
But what a lot of our viewers don't know is this community is made up twofold. You've got homes starting in the $200,000 range, going up to the millions. And then you have
A 55
a
plus section.
55 plus section.
Medley, yes.
Which that's one of the things that we touched on earlier. You help a lot of folks in the 55 plus and older,
Right.
but this community gives it all.
Yes.
And they've blessed us with giving us the opportunity to shoot in this just beautiful location,
Yes, it's
right?
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nice thing about Mirada is how we're here is we had always been in Wesley Chapel and Zephyr Hills and Dade City and that whole area since
Yeah.
I've done real estate in 20 years. But we came up here because I felt like this is where people were coming. And sure enough, this is a 15-acre lagoon. So we have the first-time home buyers who buy the townhomes, and then they move up and they buy the bigger home, and then they buy the bigger home, and then they downsize to the 55-plus maintenance-free villas.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it doesn't
Has it
matter
all.
where you're at in your walk of life. And,
Nope, it doesn't.
you've got an interesting tie to this, and you actually brought us into it because earlier this morning, you sold a home to a gentleman that used to own this lot right here. In fact, he owned the 330 acres
Yes.
that we're sitting on at this point in time, right?
Yes.
Tell a little bit about that, because he was a special
Yeah.
gentleman, and his wife was just beautiful.
Yeah, well, he owned 800 acres, I think he said.
Yeah.
And actually in Zephyr Hills, he did, but then I do have the customer that used to own this too. But that one was, he owned 800 acres in Zephyr Hills, and it was a dairy farm. And I don't remember how many, did he say 800 cows?
It was a lot.
Yeah, and he just made his living from there. Well, now he's retired, and he lives on a dirt road, and it's just it's away from things, so now he
Yeah.
needs to move in. So he called me, and we are relocating him to a golf course community where it's more maintenance-free,
That's
close
right.
to everything within an hour. Within a mile, I'm sorry. Within a mile
There's a
of
lot
everything.
located within an hour, though.
Yeah.
You guys have so much here, and we'll talk
We
about that
are.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great location.
It really is. It really
Yeah.
is. So, but he had a really interesting story because
Yeah.
we got to meet him there with his new wife.
Yes,
He's
his high school
95 years old. Is that right?
Yes, his high school sweetheart.
95.
They both were born and raised in Zephyr Hills. They went to Zephyr Hills High. He was on the football team, and she was one of the families from
Yeah.
Zephyr Hills. Yes, and they dated for 2 or 3 years, and then they ended up going on separate ways in their life.
They did.
But then when one of the partners died, his wife died,
Yeah.
who was her friend, she called just to see how he was doing.
Yep.
And now they're traveling together and getting married, and they're buying a new home together at 95 and 94.
And let me tell you something, he was super active too.
Yes, yes. And that's what's fun, matching. I'm a matchmaker. I match the house to the person, and that's what's fun.
Yeah. Well, what was really inspiring about that story too is that they met in even pre-high school. I think he mentioned 13. She was 13, and he was
13 and
14 years
14. They
old.
were playing-
I want you to think about that because he's
Yeah.
95 and 94
They've known
years.
each other 80 years.
That's a while.
That's crazy.
And just 1 year married together, but back
Yeah.
and reunited and just living their best life. And
great.
thanks to you helping them find this new home. I know
Yeah.
mobility was an important
It was, yeah.
process, and you helped them find the home that was going to meet
Right.
those needs, right? Yeah. So that's one of the unique things that you do, because again, you sell homes to everybody.
Right.
But one thing that these areas are known for, you've got a lot of active living communities, 55 plus and older, and you've got a unique situation with the people that you serve, because you've got people that are coming into those homes, you have people that unfortunately are moving out of those homes, and as a result of that, you've really built a business and a model that caters to all those needs. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I was telling you earlier, I do everything kind of backwards.
Yeah.
I do it from a buyer's perspective instead of from a listing perspective. I thought when someone called me to sell their home,
Yeah.
they wanted me to put the sign in the yard, and it would say, my name and number, and they would call me, and I would help them sell their home and find a buyer. So that's what I do. I put the sign in the yard, and I actually run with buyers to find a buyer for the home. So I didn't realize, that there was listing agents and buyer's agents. That was not a thing. So, what was the question?
Well, the question was, you offer a really unique proposition.
Oh, yeah.
You help a lot of people,
Correct.
in that active living
Yeah.
community.
Yeah, so that's actually how, I don't ask for listings, I don't prospect, I've never had to call for any business, I just help the person in front of me.
Yeah.
So if it is a seller, I say, well, where are you going next? And then I help them get where they want to go.
Right.
And then we sell their house, and then we do it again. And so it's different for each person, but it's really just serving them and helping them.
It
And
is.
it's great to get up in the morning because you don't know who you're going to help that day and, what they're going to need, but every day's different.
Well, and you're right here in the middle of it. We had the opportunity and experience to be able to go out and see homes that you've lived in,
Right.
homes that you've sold. It was amazing to see these giant, massive communities. And you're like, well, I have 300 plus homes that I've sold in that community.
Yeah.
I've sold that one, and I sold that one, and that one too.
That's fun.
And at the end of the day, there's something about that, because what that tells us, it talks about the level of service that you provide. And we always like to talk about hospitality.
Right.
And you provide amazing hospitality, and that's where you got the name the Roadrunner, is because of that hospitality. But touch on that a little
Yeah.
bit, right? How are you in 100 places at one time?
I have a great team, for one. I have a great team behind me. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to meet some of them too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I could not do it without everybody. And that sometimes is, they're like, oh, she's a team. But I can do so much and be with the people because all the non-money generating activities are being done by people who are better, much better at doing
That's
them than
right.
I, making the flyers and, making the calls and watching the settlement statement and doing the mortgages. I mean, all of that it all comes together. It's like a big puzzle every morning, everybody does their piece and it just comes together and it's a happy thing. But the way that we do that is just by everybody doing what they love.
Yeah.
So everybody in our place, we have a manager for this, a manager for that, but they all just do what they're good at and what
That's
they
right.
love. And then we, customer comes first by far, so.
Well, it's so
whatever they
smart
need.
because your phone's been ringing off the hook since we've seen you, know, and at the end of the day, there's never a point where you're not taking the time to talk to those individuals, but you're getting them directed to the right people.
Right.
So the behind the scenes is extremely important.
It is.
And, you figured that out and you've mastered it. And there's a lot of people that don't know how to do that. And you've done it really well. You've done it really well. So those clients have that amazing experience. And that's why they keep coming back. But you also mentioned partners like Christina
Yes.
here. So let's get her into the mix today. I remember when Christina first really connected with you and she reached out and she's like, I found the most amazing person. I absolutely want to work with this person. I think she has the same values that I have. And let me tell you something, those are hard standards because
That's
Christina has a drive for excellence. She truly, I'm going to tear up talking about it because I'm so proud of her.
Me too.
I'm so proud of her. But, when she reached out and she said, Gina Marie, and she talked about the Roadrunner, and we talked about getting you on the podcast, and this is months ago.
Yeah.
We finally got you here. But talk about you guys working together, right? How's that come together, and how's that process been?
I absolutely love working with Gina. She is the most amazing the realtor partner to work with, and it's because of the excellence that she exudes with every single one of her clients.
Yeah.
I mean, they 100% trust her.
For good reason.
100%. They are taken care of.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just go through some of the stories.
But we
with some of the
can't because she doesn't
amazing-
want to talk about that. She wants to talk about the clients, and that's the thing, and that's how
Yeah.
humble you are, Gina. And that's why we wanted to corner you into this podcast because we know for you, you said, hey, but it's not about me, right? It's about the consumers that I serve, and that's what's most important to me. And, there's something amazing about how humble you are. Hey, I don't need to be on the camera. I want to be the one that's out serving the people. And, guys and gals, if you're watching this and you're looking for somebody and you want to know who you can trust, you got to trust somebody like this, somebody who absolutely goes all in, right? Gives it all, right? But at the end of the day, it's for you. It's for you. It's for each and every one of you. She wants to make sure that service is absolutely impeccable, and for good reason. Because this is her home that you're talking about, right?
Right. It's your
And sometimes your
biggest-
final home that we're
Right.
talking about, right?
Right.
And you want to trust that with somebody that you can trust, and Gina is one of those people. So
Well, talking about someone's final home, you actually brought somebody back into their
Yeah.
home from
We had
selling
a
their
couple,
home.
I had sold their home, they went into assisted living.
yeah.
They weren't having that after a couple of years, after what, 2
Said
years?
no,
3
no, no,
years?
no.
Yeah, so they bought a new home, so.
They bought a new home,
Yeah.
and that's why I love working with Christina. She went to their house to get their, because they can't do DocuSign and all that.
Understood, yeah.
So she took the time to listen to them, to help them with their wire, to help them, and not just take an application over the phone.
Right.
They can't do that, and
Yeah.
then they feel stupid, and they're not.
No,
Every
no.
single elderly person was somebody very smart and very, intelligent.
That's
and,
right.
And sometimes they're just treated like, they're
It's not
dumb.
acceptable.
No, and so she
Yeah.
just treats them like they're a king or a queen, and I love that.
Well, they're
because-
my favorites too,
Yeah,
so.
it's
yeah,
fun. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I think that's really important to make sure that you have partners that have the same passion in the business that you have, and
Right.
and teammates. Because again, let's talk a little bit about your teammates. We've got to
Yes.
meet some of those. Let's get some shout outs. Who do you have on the team? What do they do?
Okay, we have, because I love being a realtor, I don't want to be in the office doing broker things. So even though I went to broker school and can broker, I am not a broker. I hired two, one to deal with the people and one to deal with the
Right.
transactions. So Dan is behind the scenes all the time.
Yeah.
He's looking at everything that we do, watching all of the paperwork, making sure it's all right. And then he interacts with the customers when I can't, when I
Yeah.
need to forward the phones. Then we have Wes, who's a broker, and he deals with the finances and all that. So he does all the back end stuff.
Yeah.
Then we have when we get under contract, from contract to closing, a great transaction manager who
That's great.
handles all the details. So from contract to closing, she does everything, and that's wonderful. Carly is our office manager, and she's awesome. She has been an awesome asset. She does the marketing, she does the training, she's a realtor also, and has just brought a whole nother level to the office, and we're so happy to have her. And
We've
then-
seen her in action today.
Yeah, she keeps us organized and
Yeah.
keeps us on track. And
No
I
question.
probably asked her 3 times, what are we doing next?
I think I asked her the same thing.
What's wrong with you people? But anyway, and then we have Susan, who's compliance manager. She works from her home because of her family situation, but she's amazing. She watches all of our paperwork too to make sure it's right and keeps it all organized on dot loop. And she'll, do set appointments. And then I have several agents. There's 8 other agents who all have their own business within our Rest Easy
That's
Realty.
right, yeah.
Yep, and then, who am I forgetting? Oh, a listing manager. We have a listing manager also that does the non-money generating things, like putting the sign up and all the things that have to happen to get a listing live and then get it when it's sold.
I'm going to touch on it. You talk about non-money generating things, and that's we use the same terms.
Okay.
And we do. There's money making activity and there's
Right.
non-money making activity, and the people that are great at each need to be the ones that are working on those. And it sounds like you've really found a way to be able to dive into that.
Yep.
And you stay focused on the money making activities. They stay focused on the heavy lifting to keep you
Right.
on track. Because guess what? If Gina Marie's not out doing the things that she's doing, there's no job, right?
Right.
There is no
Exactly.
job. So we all have to support each other in these types of systems
Yep.
because at the end of the day, we each know what we're doing. And I think we talked about this earlier today. You
Yep.
put the best of the best of the best in each one of those roles.
Exactly.
And sometimes they're way better than we
Way
are.
better, yeah.
And they love those things that we're terrible about.
Yeah, exactly.
And you figured that out and you've assembled the team.
Yep.
And I got to ask you, if they were all here, and one of them is, but if they were all here right now, what would you say to your team?
Yeah, I can't do it without you. Everybody's Gina Marie, but it's not Gina Marie. It is the team because I have such a great back end staff. Yeah, I could not do 100 or 150, sales a year. I couldn't do it. And plus, when I can't answer the phone, they're right there to answer, to pick up, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's.
We're
a
not
team
supposed to
effort.
talk about numbers, Gina.
Oh,
Marie.
sorry.
Hang on.
Those were your rules, not
That's
ours.
right. No numbers.
I actually want to say something about that because so since 2005, you've catered to the active over 55 up community, right?
Right.
And we were just talking in the green room. Last time I checked, the last 3 years, we were in a recession. Not really a recession, but interest rates.
Right.
The real estate market has declined.
Yeah.
Not your numbers, like you said, you threw out 150. We were just talking about how you need to hire realtors because you're so busy right now, and your hair's on
Productive.
fire.
She's
Right.
productive.
Yeah, but we were just talking about it. In your community, what you target, economy doesn't affect them. Finances doesn't affect them. None of the exterior stuff that affects normal real estate doesn't affect. You've created
Well,
an economy for yourself. It's just
Yeah.
how much you want to work.
Well,
how
we're
much
in
you
Central
wanna-
Florida too, Dave.
Yeah.
Like who doesn't want to move down here and have a slice of paradise? And I think I touched on this earlier as far as price point goes. We're here in the Marana, and high 200s to millions. Who's pricing homes in that price point right now and having some of the amenities that you have here? I mean,
it's amazing.
it truly is amazing. And this area in general. So just
growing,
so you
yeah.
guys don't know where we're at right now, we're nestled just 30 minutes above Tampa Bay. We're 44 miles west of Orlando, right? And all the Disney stuff that
Oh,
you
yeah.
could possibly imagine is right around the corner, right? And then we've got, if you don't want to go down to Tampa, we've got the coast is how many miles from here?
Oh, it's less than an hour, depending on where you go.
So this
Yeah.
is just a beautiful
It is.
place.
It's a great hidden gem.
It is, and if I'm a new home purchaser or a retiree, there's something to do for everybody
There is.
here, right?
Yep.
But talk about that. So I'm thinking about relocating, right?
Okay, great. Here's my card.
Exactly. And I'm up north. And by the way, guys, I have to mention this too because she's got her phone with her. She has to have her phone with her at all times because it's natural state for her. It truly is. So I'm looking at relocating from up north. What's that experience like, right? I'm coming from 10 states away or 3 states away.
We handle it all, even
Yeah.
if you're not here. We do the virtual showings. Everything can be virtual. We have movers who will send up to get you. It's just
You know the relationships.
yeah, just pick area, and we can help you. As a matter of fact, we do all of Central Florida.
Yeah.
So all the way coast to coast. Not Miami and not Jacksonville, but Central Florida, coast to
Yeah,
coast.
yeah, all
And
the
we have
central
people.
markets.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's-
Well, and you do make it easy because you have all the relationships. But let's talk about affordability too, because I think, you know, whatever level you're at in your life,
Yes.
there's something that fits everybody here, right?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then tax rates, right? We were talking a
Yeah.
little bit about that too. And
Our
you know,
taxes are lower. That's why most of the time we advertise out of the area because
Yeah.
a lot of people are moving to Florida. So
That's right.
our taxes are lower. We don't have income tax.
you know, as I say, that high state income tax, right? There we go. Roadrunner is on the call.
Beep, beep, beep.
It wouldn't be right if that didn't happen. We had to have that. But yeah, so state income tax, that's through the roof, right?
We don't have state
Oh,
income
my
tax.
God.
No state income tax, no. And there are communities without a CDD, and you can be in the county, and you can get a lot of house for your money here.
Oh, I'm seeing that
Yeah,
right
this
now.
beautiful house, $799. I know, it's great.
Yeah, it truly is beautiful. It truly is beautiful. So, just what is there anything wrong? Because the hurricanes don't really seem to scathe you guys
No,
over
they
here
don't. We
either,
didn't
right?
even lose power the last 3, so no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's mosquitoes, but. not
maybe a little
here.
rain.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of rain.
No, we like the rain. That's great. Cools it off.
But it comes and goes, right?
Cools it
You know,
down, yeah.
we had that on. Yeah, it definitely cools it down. We were shooting some video earlier
were
today, and
warm
the shade and rain were our friend,
Yes,
right? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I love that. Well, you know, Gina, you know, we love having you here, and you know, is there anything that we didn't touch on today that maybe we should have covered?
Not that I know of.
You're like, no, I think
No,
we got it
I think
all.
we're good.
I don't think we could possibly capture everything because
No.
you've got so much going on, but
Yeah.
in such an amazing way, and you just coordinate it so well, you know? And I think that's what makes it so special for your clients, and that's why you don't have to do the marketing, and why they come back, because the experience that you provide is so special. You know,
And we try to
truly
make it
is.
fun too.
Oh, we've had
even
fun.
to our office is very casual, but yet it's welcoming, and we just try to make them feel like they're at home.
Yep.
So call home.
Call home. That's
Call
it.
home.
So from Central Florida, from the east to the west, you cover it all.
Yep.
And when the folks out there are trying to find you, how do they get in touch with Gina Marie?
My email is Holm, Holm, my last name, sellshomes@gmail.com. But the best way is to call home, 813-495-5166. Call or text. We do have a website. It's marginal.
It's there. You can find their
Call
contact
me and I will
information.
answer, and I'll be there.
What's the website?
The website is www.resteasyrealty.com.
And find you on IG and Facebook.
I also have homesellsforyou.com.
There we go.
So
There we go. How about
that's my personal
Instagram, social?
Yes, Instagram, Facebook. I am coming out of the closet with social media.
We got her.
Hiding behind, away from the camera, so they got me.
I love it. Well, and if you're watching the video, you saw all that just run right across the bottom. So make sure you take a shot or write it down or just pick up the phone and make a phone call.
Yep.
And if you're listening to the podcast, we made sure we put it down in the description. So make sure you go over there and reach out to Gina and her team, Gina Marie and her team. She and this team are just absolutely amazing. Literally, I get out and I do these kind of things all the time. And this has been one of the best days I've had in a long time. So thank you for bringing us along for the ride.
Yeah,
now,
thank you for having me.
Oh no, thank you, thank you. Now, Christina, we love having you here today as well. Anything we didn't talk about with you that we should have covered today?
I'm kind of like Gina. Let's just talk about everybody else. I'm fine
I
with
think
that.
that's why you two get along so well, because she's the same way. She likes to come on the podcast and just kind of sit in the background, right?
No, but she's amazing with the customers. I have not met anyone that just really is so passionate and puts her heart and soul into it, and we get it
thanks.
done. It's great because it's more than just it takes more than the average.
From your mouth to our ears.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
glad you said it,
She's
because
amazing.
I was trying to beat you to the punch, but
Yeah.
it sounded way better coming from you.
It's true.
I truly do care. So
No,
does,
there's
yeah.
She cares, trust me. Countless hours and, early mornings, and just passionate about making sure that, when it comes to
And she'll
home
tell you the
financing.
truth if you can't do it. She's not gonna say, "Oh,
100%,
yeah,"
Or how you can find out how to get there.
there.
Exactly.
great.
The roadmap, right? So the Roadrunner and the roadmap. And we're going to get you to Holm.
That's good. That was really good.
That's a good one.
So, Christina, when the folks out there want to find you, how do they get in touch with you?
They can call. I can't be real creative, like call home. What would mine be? Call,
The Waggoner Group. How about that? The Waggoner Group.
Bring your wagon and move on in.
Call the wagon.
Waggoner on over here.
352-659-6812. That's my cell. Just give me a call.
That's it. And, she's on our website at thedubucteam.com. So if you want to come over there, you can find her there as well. And she also always answers the phone. And if she doesn't, she's got somebody there that's going to do it for her.
That's right.
She's got an amazing team as
Yes.
well.
I do.
Yeah. And if you're watching this, again, that just ran right back along the bottom of the screen again. And it's also in the description. But when you're pairing up with these two, you're going to get amazing service. And, we just appreciate both of you taking time, because I know how busy you both are. I have a hard time getting her on the phone, and she is on my team. And I can't even catch you, but I got you. I had to come to Florida to do it, but we made it happen. So super, super appreciate you guys both being here today. Dave, anything you want to say to our guests before we wrap up this day, this week?
Today's been it's been fun. It was a great day. I will say this: if you're at 55 or over looking for a home, call Gina Marie. Or if you're just looking for a home less than 55,
Yep.
she's
New
here to help.
construction.
And then one last thing, in the green room, I was just talking to her. We have a lot of agents out there that are listening to this podcast and stuff.
Yeah.
She's hiring, guys. She's hiring like crazy.
Yeah.
She's where everybody else is kind of slowing down. She's growing like crazy. So give her a call. Maybe you can be part of her team.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do new construction, luxury homes, move-ups, even rentals. We do not do property management, but we will help you find a rental, or we'll list your home to rent. So we can help you from, one point A to point B.
Yeah, from the start to the finish.
Yep.
No question about it. And by the way, guys, just a beautiful place. I come out here to Clearwater often for a coaching program that I do, and I love the Tampa, Clearwater, and now San Antonio area. Now that I've had a chance to make it up here, this is just a great place to be. The sunsets and sunrises are absolutely
They are
stunning.
gorgeous.
But it really is, and it's a slower life for Florida, right? So if you've been to Miami and you're like, I don't know if I can deal with the hustle and bustle, that's further south, right? And if that's your thing, head south, right? But if you want to have just a nice, rest easy time in your new home, this is where you're going to find it, and these are the folks that are going to help you get there. So. I think, did we do it? Did we do it all today?
I think that's it.
All right, guys. Well, we're your real
Thank
estate
you.
success partners. And if you want to find us, you can check us out at therealestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's therealestatesuccesspartner.com. Or if you want to watch this thing, and we think you should, because we got all kinds of cool goodies at the beginning and the end of this one as well. Hey, come on over to YouTube, and you'll find us at the Dubuc team. You can also find us at IG, Facebook, TikTok. We're all over the place. And I'd love it if you comment or subscribe or like, or if you don't like. But we do love the comments. So, if there's any questions, anything we can answer, if we can help get you in touch with Gina Marie or Christina Waggoner here, we'd love to do that. So until the next time, we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.